I've got a new cookbook and a new appliance, and I am ready to dive in. Hey guys, my name is Vanessa, and today I am cooking in an Instant Pot. However, it's a blender and it heats up. What? So I recently picked up a new cookbook, and a lot of the recipes were definitely easy to make in a blender. And then Instant Pot sent me this blender to give a try, and it actually heats up. You can cook inside this thing. It is not just a plain old blender. So I definitely wanted to share this with you guys with some new recipes that I wanted to try that are perfect for the summertime. So I'm gonna show you guys the instruction booklet and give you a little overview of the Instant Pot blender, and then I will show you guys the cookbook, and then we're gonna get to cooking. All right, so here is the Instant Pot Ace blender. That is the name. I will have a link down below if you guys want to check it out. But this thing, I've already used it several times and I am in love with it. It definitely heats up very, very well. You guys are gonna see that in one of the recipes, but it does have the brand name Instant Pot. So you can do smoothies, you can puree. It does heat up during the puree function, crushed ice, frozen desserts. You can also make some homemade milks. So soy milk, rice milk, a nut or oat milk, and then soup. We're definitely using, let's see, we're using the smoothie, the frozen dessert, and the soup along with part of the puree in these recipes that I'm gonna show you guys. So I definitely wanted to use several of the options. I am going to be trying out the homemade milk in the future. So if you guys want to see that, give this video a big thumbs up. That will let me know that you want me to continue sharing recipes in this new Instant Pot appliance. It is very, very easy to use. The book is super self-explanatory. So it does come with a user manual. However, this book does not have any recipes in it. So just wanted to let you guys know that you will have to, search for your own recipes or just trial and error for your own recipes in this appliance. It is super easy. It really is just your basic blender. You can do anything in here. I also own a Ninja blender, and anything that I would make in that, I could make in this. This just bumps it up a level. This is a whole nother step into a blender because of the heat function. I absolutely love it. So again, just super, super easy to follow. You remove the lid, you fill the blender with your ingredients, and then you pick your function and how you want it to heat up. Works really, really well. Also, this has a lock function as well. So it is locked right now. It's not going to move. It's not going to pop off. It is completely locked on here, the top. And you have to unlock it to take it off. So you can see here, it just goes over and grasps onto that. And the lid is not coming off at all. So super safe, got a lot of good safety features in it. But, oh, I am super excited. So let me show you guys the cookbook, and then we are going to get to whipping things up in this Instant Pot Ace blender. So all of the recipes that you guys are going to see me make actually came from this cookbook. I will try to find it and link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But so far, everything's been awesome out of here. It says the super easy 5-ingredient cookbook. However, there are several in here that are less than 5 ingredients. So 30-minute sheet pan, 1 pot, no cook, a great mixture. No pictures in here, just FYI. However, all of the recipes are super easy so far, the ones that I've made. Well, there's a couple pictures in here, but for every recipe, there's not. So I just wanted to point that out. If you guys like a picture for every recipe, this is definitely not the cookbook for you. But everything that I've made so far, and then several more, just look super, super yummy. We are going to start out by making a watermelon lime smoothie, and my kids want to help with this one. So I'm going to use about 3.5 cups of watermelon, maybe 3/4 cup of Greek vanilla yogurt, and then I'm going to use a half of a lime. We're just putting it all in and blending it up. Super easy. All right, so here's where my kids are helping. They wanted to dump everything in. So I've got one of my children dumping in the watermelon, and then another one is going to try her hardest to squeeze that lime, but it ended up being a little bit too tough for her. So I'm gonna help her out at the end. And last but not least, another child is helping just dump in that Greek vanilla yogurt. Let's make sure we get our lid on. Really easy, you just push it in there and turn it to lock, and that lid is not moving at all once it's in that locked position. So since we're using a smoothie, we're just gonna press the smoothie button. It automatically comes up for 1 minute and 38 seconds. It's going to beep, you guys. This scared us. I don't know if you can tell. There, I jumped. It beeps 3 times to warn you, but then it just starts. And all 3 of us, the kids and myself, well, all 4 of us jumped when it started, but they loved watching it blend up. So it pulses for a little bit, stops, pulses again. It really does this on every single function, but it mixed everything up perfectly. So I ended up stopping it a little early. Since we didn't have a full pitcher of a smoothie, it was definitely already done. So the recipe that we made, or the amount of ingredients, made a little over 1 glass. Since my kids aren't big on smoothies, I only made 1 to start with, but they ended up loving it, and I made more for each of them. Now we're gonna make some strawberry froyo, so some frozen yogurt. I'm gonna use a whole bag of frozen strawberries. You definitely want to make sure they are frozen. Do not let them thaw. Again, with the vanilla Greek yogurt, about 1 cup. And then for some added sweetness, I'm adding, I think I have about 2 tablespoons of honey right here. This is another just dump and go. So take all your ingredients and get them in your blender. So for this, I'm going to press the frozen desserts. So it automatically popped up with 1 minute and 20 seconds. Again, it's going to pulse for a second, then stop, then pulse again. And I ended up, since I had these whole strawberries, I ended up using it twice. I pressed that frozen dessert button until it beeped and it was done. And then I did end up pressing it another time. And that is the consistency that we were looking for at the end. And there's the finished product. I scooped these all out into little bowls and took it to my kids by the pool, and it was the perfect hot afternoon treat. So last but not least, we are going to make some tomato and roasted red pepper soup for lunch to go with some grilled cheese. Now, I have never made tomato soup with roasted peppers before, but it sounds really good. I'm using both of these the whole jar, the whole can, and then I do have 2 tablespoons of dried thyme and 2 teaspoons of garlic. So the original recipe, you are supposed to make this on the stovetop. However, since this Instant Pot Ace blender has a heating function, we're gonna try to make it here. So I'm just going to, again, just dump and go, dump all of these ingredients into the blender, and then we are going to use a heat function. So there is a soup line on the blender. You do not want to pass that, or you do risk everything falling or coming out. So I am adding some water, and I just wanted to point out that line there that you don't want to cross it. This is about 2 cups, but you're going to see that I'm going to be well under that line. So it should work out good. Again, making sure the lid is completely locked in place. And since we want to cook this, we're not going to blend it at all. We are going to use the soup function, and it automatically, I'm just using the times that pop up, so 22 minutes and 44 seconds. It's going to start low. I'm going to keep popping up the temperature here, and it blends it just off and on very, very lightly, but it's really just coming up to that 100-degree temperature. It's starting to get hot in here. You can see it is boiling. That is not blending, that is boiling because it is so hot. All right, now that it is to temp, the timer has started counting down. It's already been going for about 10 minutes. So now that it's done, I am turning it off. And since this is a tomato soup, I definitely want to puree it. This is not a fresh, chunky soup, so I am having it puree, and on the puree function it also heats as well. So during the heating process, you definitely do not want to touch the pitcher itself, only the handle. The pitcher, the glass part, is going to be very, very hot. So once that puree function is done, we are not done. We're adding some more ingredients. However, we're done with the cooking process. So I am adding in about half a cup of heavy cream, and then we're also going to do salt and pepper to taste. So we definitely had to serve this with grilled cheese. It was the perfect afternoon lunch for summertime. However, my kiddos were not fans of the red pepper. I knew that might happen, so I already had some other tomato soup on the side. I loved the added flavoring from the pepper into your traditional tomato soup. It was a little on the runny side, but I'm gonna mess with this recipe, and I really loved trying it out, and the Instant Pot worked perfectly for heating that up. So I'll definitely be using the soup function again. All right, you guys, so my kids loved this smoothie and the froyo, but the smoothie was definitely their favorite because they got to help make it. It always makes a huge difference when you get your kids in the kitchen because they've never really been big fans of smoothies before. However, since they got to help me put the ingredients in the blender, they drank it up. They absolutely loved it. So that's definitely gonna go into our typical summer rotation because we always pick up a watermelon. So definitely give the watermelon lime smoothie a try. It was super yummy. The froyo was awesome also. It's definitely a healthier alternative to ice cream during the summer. I made it for the kids while they were in the pool. I took it out to them and it was their like afternoon snack poolside. It was amazing. They loved it. So the tomato soup, I liked it. The kids were not huge fans. I didn't think they would like it because it had the roasted red peppers in it. It was just a little too different for them. It was also a little runnier than your basic creamy tomato soup. So the recipe, I followed the recipe exactly. So I will do my own tweaks next time, but I really did love the added red pepper flair into the tomato soup with our grilled cheese. So definitely want to mess around with that recipe, but so far this book has been awesome. I can't wait to make more things out of it and also make more things in my blender. So if you guys liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new. I would love to have you guys join our community here. I will have a link for the cookbook and the blender if you guys want to check them out, and I will see you guys in the next one.